Number 1, America is the country with the largest economy in the world. In fact, there was a war between America and Spain in 1989, in which America won. America used to make weapons and sell them to other countries since that time, the result of which you are seeing. At present, America is at number 1 in the world in terms of supplying arms. America pays more attention to technology from the beginning. If we talk about America's GDP, its GDP is 2,140 trillion. The US spends 788 billion of its GDP on active military. America has the most powerful power in the world. America has a total of 2,000 active army. And because of all this, America is also called the most powerful country. Number 2, Russia is the second largest country in the world in military power. That is, it is second only to America. Not only this, Russia has more than 6,000 nuclear Ukraine, because it has the most in the whole world, as well as Russia has modern weapons and war systems. Due to this, no country can even think of defeating it. And even if it thinks, Russia does not allow it to stay ahead of it for long. By the way, Russia is the largest country in the world by area. Its area is 98,246 square kilometers, and population 14.54 crore people live in this country. If we talk about Russia's GDP, then its GDP is $61.7 billion. Russia spends 4.30% of its GDP on its active army. Russia has the most powerful power in the world, and because of all this, Russia is also called the second most powerful country. Number 3, China. Every superpower has a story. China also has a story. Anyway, the purchasing power parity in China is more than America, because of which China is the country with the largest economy, as well as China is at number 1 in the world in terms of population. The population of China is more than 140 crores. If we talk about China's GDP, then its GDP is $19.4 trillion. China spends 1.7% of its GDP on its active army. China has the third most powerful power, and because of all this, Russia is also called the third most powerful country. China has a total of 22 lakh active army. Number 4, and India. In the last 4 decades, India paid more attention to its economy, due to which India has grown by 6.5%. India is second only to China in population. India's total population is more than 138 crores, due to which it is fourth in military power. India has 14.55 lakh army. Not only this, India has 11,500 reserve army. India's total GDP is 3.25 trillion, spends 2.9% of the total GDP on its military and buys weapons, due to which India has become the number 1 country in the world in terms of buying weapons. Many experts say that by the coming 2050, India will leave America behind and come at number 1 in the world in terms of military power. Number 5, Japan. By the way, the population of Japan is a country with a population of more than 57 lakh. The people there have a lot of importance of time. The people here are considered the most hard-working in the world. That is why Japan comes third in the economy after America. Talking about Japan's GDP, Japan's 558 trillion. It spends 1% of its total GDP on its military. Japan pays attention to technology from the beginning, and this country has put full force on technology. Since then, technology has become the identity of Japan. Although Japan has 2.47 lakh active army and 56,000 reserve army, but Japan keeps its name as a powerful country. Number 6, South Korea. Although South Korea is a small country, it is also a very developed country, and the name of South Korea also comes among the rich countries of the world. South Korea is spread over 1,163 square kilometers. The population there is more than 5.13 crores. 92% people use internet. The special thing is that it has the 6th largest air force in the world, While if we talk about the GDP of South Korea, then the GDP of South Korea is $1.80 trillion. This country spends 2.8% of its GDP on its army. That is why South Korea is at sixth place among 140 countries. It has 5.55 Lake Active Army and 2.75 Lakes Reserve Army. South Korea is at sixth place in most powerful countries. Number 7, France is a country where the oldest traces of human life are present. Even these 1.8 million years old traces are still present in France. The most special thing about this country is that France is spread over an area of 6.43 lakh square kilometers. This country has a population of more than 6.74 lakh people. Not only this, France has the sixth most powerful army in the world because France has 2,700 active army, in which 35,000 are reserve army. If France talking about GDP, France's GDP is 2.94 trillion, which comes at seventh place in the world. France spends 2.1% of its GDP on its military. By the way, in France also, machinery, chemicals, and automobiles are considered the economy of this country. Not only this, France has more than 290 nuclear bombs. Number 8, Germany, spread over an area of 3.57 lakh square kilometers. The population of this country comes second among European countries. 8.42 crore people live in Germany. The economy of this country is one of the largest economies in the world, and moreover, Germany pays more attention to its manufacturing. It is also known as manufacturing hub in the world. If we talk about the German army ranks second among the European armies. Germany has 1.83,700 active army and 30,050 reserve army. The German government spends 1.4% of its GDP on active military. Number 9, Turkey, is the sixth largest tourist destination in the world. Turkey is also considered one of the beautiful countries. Turkey is such a country, some part of which comes in Asia and some part in Europe. Its area is 7.84 square kilometers. The population of this country is more than 8.55 million people. Yet the GDP of this country comes at number 17 in the world, which is $845 billion. This country spends 2.77% of its total GDP on its army, although Turkey ranks 8th in the world in military pool. Not only that, only Turkish army comes after NATO. Turkey is called the 9th most powerful country in the world. Number 10, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is very famous because of the different and most dangerous law, where more people from other countries live than local people. Saudi Arabia is considered the largest country in Arab countries. Saudi Arabia has an area of 21.50 square kilometers, where more than 3.57 million people live, out of which more than 70% of the people are from other countries. The GDP here is $876.1 billion. It spends 8.4% of total GDP on its active military. Saudi Arabia ranks 9th in spending on its military. Saudi Arabia has 2.27 lakh active army. It is the 10th powerful country in the world.